We have a really weird fight at flyweight coming up between Tim Elliott and babyface Ryan Benoit. And if it seems like we just keep talking about these guys, it's because Ryan Benoit was scheduled to take on Tyson Nam, but was forced to withdraw. And this was just within the last month and a half. So Tyson Nam takes on Zaruk Adashev, starches him, as you would have imagined. And now Ryan Benoit comes in to take on Tim Elliott. Like I said, we talked about him recently because he just fought Brandon Royval. And we had mentioned it. Justin James over Frank Camacho. Wild finish. Brandon Royval over Tim Elliott. Who saw that coming? I picked that one. So if we look at this fight, Matt, Tim Elliott is the weirdest, wonkiest fighter that you could ever imagine taking on. His hair's weird, but he also fights like the Tasmanian devil because he's good in the scrambles. His striking's kind of herky-jerky, wonky, a la Dominic Cruz, Ben Rothwell, but not quite there yet. And with Ryan Benoit, you always have to be mindful of his power. It's just he's taken on so many good fighters. That's why the win-loss record's not that great. Same could be said for Tim Elliott, who's had a title shot in the past. I know you're really excited about this one. What do you make of this fight here?
I'm oddly excited about a 15-11 fighter fighting a 10-6 guy on a prelim on a Wednesday night. Like, this is one of the fights I'm the most excited for because Ryan Benoit is nothing except exciting. He's not the most technical guy in the division. He's not the best wrestler, not the best grappler, but he hits like John Lineker, and it doesn't make any sense because Ryan Benoit doesn't put a lot into his shots, but for some reason, when he lands, he puts people down. And a lot of people thought he had beat Brandon Moreno in their fight. It went to split decision. He dropped Moreno in that. He actually put up a really good account of himself. But like you said, his UFC tenure has just been difficult, if nothing else. Fought really high-level competition the whole way through. I thought he won his last fight, lost by split decision. And against Tim Elliott, I don't want to say this is crossroads fight because I don't really know where either guy's ceiling is. But if Tim Elliott loses another fight, you really got to worry about his future in the company.
Tim Elliott's 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and that 5th fight took place all the way back 3 years ago against Ben Nguyen. So take that for what it's worth. And if you look at Ryan Benoit, yeah, kind of a similar story where there's a period of inactivity, the Mokhtarian fight, then he comes in and faces Haile Alatang not that long ago, earlier on this year, and it was about 2 years and a month between those fights. Came in, shook the rust off, lost a split decision. Again, you thought he won. I thought it was close. I had it for Alatang to win, but still, this is one where it's kind of a flip of a coin. I know a lot of people over on Tapology to 342 votes, 74% going with Tim Elliott, 74% going with him to win by decision. If you look over at the odds, they slightly favor Tim Elliott. I mean, he opened as a minus 190 favorite. Now he's sitting at a minus 125. If you look over at Ryan Benoit, again, opened as a plus 165. Now he's around plus 100. So those odds are coming closer and closer to par. And I like that. But what do you see in this one here?
So I think the only way Ryan Benoit can win is by knockout in this. But I think I should say that the other way around. The only way Tim Elliott can lose this fight is by knockout. Because I don't think Ryan Benoit has the skill or the cardio to keep up with him over 3 rounds because Tim Elliott's fights kind of like Clay Guida at this point in his career. He just does things. He's always active no matter what, whether he's going for takedown attempts, whether he's scrambling, just throwing volume and combinations. But in the Askarov fight, Askar was able to hit him with some bombs, and he didn't go down from those. So you really have to respect, just the chin of Tim Elliott because he's faced some big punchers in the past. And I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if on Thursday I wake up, if for some reason I missed this fight, and Ryan Benoit won by head kick knockout. I wouldn't be surprised. But more likely than not, Tim Elliott's just going to be able to do more throughout the fight and kind of avoid that big shot of Benoit.
Yeah, Tim Elliott just keeps busy. I mean, you look at this stretch, it's been within the past year. Figueiredo, Askarov, and then Brandon Royval. And is Brandon Royval the big drop-off from those guys? Well, currently he is. He looks absolutely amazing, looked great on the regional scene. So you don't really know what you're getting out of Tim Elliott versus Ryan Benoit that's kind of been a picture of consistency over a really long time. I know that sentence doesn't make a lot of sense, but you know basically what you're going to get out of both of these guys. The power of Benoit, the awkwardness of Tim Elliott. Now, is he going to make it a second straight loss in 2020? That remains to be seen. I guess actually really it'd be a third straight loss in 2020 because the Askarov fight was earlier on this year. For me, again, yes, I agree with you. He does enough to typically beat guys. I think this is Ryan Benoit's fight to lose. I think fighting a guy like Tyson Nam is a much tougher test than a guy like Tim Elliott. And at this point, he's crumbled under pressure. So if Ryan Benoit can at least put it on him and hit him with a couple of heavy shots, what's Tim Elliott going to do? Wrestle him?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how at this point in his career with so many fights, how he's going to find success. I'm going to go with Ryan Benoit. You're going to go with Tim Elliott, I assume.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Tim Elliott by decision.
But it's a really interesting fight, and it's a really interesting card that's definitely flying under the radar. So you're going to want to keep it locked in with Fight Night picks as we go over the entire card, including a center breakdown of Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige in the main event. Really looking forward to it. Keep it locked in with Fight Night picks, Matt. And as we always say,
let's get into it.